Hey everyone, Sharice here, your resident career coach and recruiter. And I just want to drop a couple gems on you today if you are in the market of looking for a job and you are currently interviewing and you need a little bit of preparation. One of the things that you can do is always use the STAR method when you are interviewing. You said, what's the STAR method? STAR stands for what the situation is, the task, the action, and the results. The STAR method. The key is to figure out how your old roles or the current role that you have transfer into this role and how to use those examples in the STAR method flow. That's how you make sure that you're trying to nail these interviews, making sure that you are using some sort of process in answering your questions. Because what happens, a lot of us start to rambling and you're just talking, and you're like, did I answer the question? Did I not answer the question? I know, I get it. The other thing is to trust your gut. You know when you've been talking too long. Give the interviewer the chance to create the conversation. I know you get nervous, and I know you just want to talk, but trust your gut. If your gut is telling you you've been talking too long, you've been probably talking too long. Another gem that I want to give to you is you are the expert in your field. Whatever job that you're interviewing for, whether it's a project manager, a customer success manager, a call center manager, receptionist, whatever it is, when you are in that interview, you have to present yourself as the expert in the role you're interviewing for. That's why they want to hire you. They want to hire the person that knows how to do the role. So have that confidence when you're going into your interviews. Another gem I want to give to you is when you are answering questions like, tell me about a time you had a conflict and what did you do and blah, blah, blah. And then you're like thinking about what that conflict could have been and how to talk about it. I want you to always prepare for that question. Almost any interview, they're going to ask you about conflict because, the reality is a lot of companies are looking at their culture and who they bring in, right? So how you deal with conflict is always going to stand out. So when you were trying to figure out what story to tell about the conflict and how you dealt with it using the STAR method, right? What the situation was, what the task was, what the action was, and what the result was. Once you figure out what that story is, use that same story in every interview. Stop thinking of extra stories. You're overthinking it. Use that same story. If you have to tweak the story because of, the situation in the interview to match what what the interview is on, it's okay. But use the same story. If you need interview preparation, I do preparation, interview preparation. So link is in my bio. I do also offer resume service. So if you're looking for resume service, you can always hit me up DM or you can always click the link in my bio. I make sure that I specialize in, yes, you can go online and you can use any of these other resume services. But what I do is I specialize in making sure that we address gaps in your employment. We make sure that it's results driven and we make sure that it truly talks about your superpowers. That is definitely one of the things that I think people don't do. You don't give yourself enough credit for the things that you've done, right? If you've been a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home parent, or you've been out of the workforce a little while and you haven't quite figured out how to put that on your resume, me. If you've owned your own business for a while and you got to get back out there and you have to just kind of get your resume together and you don't know what that looks like and what that sounds like, I'm more than happy to help.